And here we go, game number 9, Shenandoah University Hornets against the Ithaca College Bombers. Shenandoah will take the field first, will be the home team. They are in the red unis. Ithaca will be leading it off with Dominic Bresta.
Bit of a quick turnaround here from the first game today. That was LaRoche and Adrian. The Bulldogs took that by a score of 1-0, and really what was a nail-biter of a game. They were actually supposed to play last night, but due to inclement weather, they were rescheduled, I should say, for 9 o'clock this morning. So this is why this game here, Ithaca and Shenandoah, is being played at noon.
Here's the 1-1. Fouled off down the right side. They're going to run out of room. And due to that quick turnaround, Cody, we didn't really have as much time as we would have liked to prep for the game. So welcome to the ACTV broadcast, as we were unable to get that out before our leadoff hitter got set. I'm Darian Pitcher alongside Cody Alexander. We'll be bringing you through the action today. Sean Witcher behind the scenes running the graphics. Everything you see will be through the work of him. Speaking of work, quick work of Baresta, that's Gerard de Phillips getting his first strikeout of the day with the leadoff hitter. That'll bring up Webb Little, the second baseman for the Bombers.
The Phillips has 10 appearances on the year and 5 starts. He owns a 6-1 record, 34 2/3 innings of work. Now 21 strikeouts on the year to 13 walks and a 6.49 ERA. So he'll be looking to get that down today and extend the Hornets season.
He starts off Mr. Webb Little with the ball. Here's the 1-0 offering. That one's going to find the zone. That'll push it to 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Little pops it up to left. Retreating is Nick Good. He finds his way underneath it, battles the sun a little bit, but manages to put it away. For out number 2, that'll bring up third baseman Jake Generali.
Now batting the third baseman number 3, Jake Generali.
A little bit of a lineup change here today for the Bombers, with Little and Generali switching places. We'll talk about that more the next time they're up at the plate.
That was an easy ground out. Quick work from DePhillips. We'll go to the bottom of the first, still scoreless. And the right arm of Robbie Buffett is ready to rock for the Bombers as they take the field. Leadoff hitter Grant Thompson will step in the left-handed batter's box to get things underway here in the bottom of the first. Cody, both these teams played yesterday to get to this point. Shenandoah came over from the winner's bracket. Ithaca, in a surprising marathon game, great ending. Here's a pop-up, flirting with the foul line. Comes all the way back in. Looked like shortstop Jack Lynch came across to make the catch. So Ithaca with a marathon game, 12 innings yesterday to come back and beat Otterbein in a back-and-forth 12-inning battle.
Yeah, and a tough way to end the Otterbein season. It was a routine ground ball with 2 outs. He slipped. It was raining at the end of that game. It looks like they're going to give some sunglasses out there to the third baseman, Christian Rice. He kind of lost that ball in the sun, or excuse me, Jake Generali. And it was Lynch that had to come over and bail him out. But back to yesterday's game, he slipped on the wet turf, and Sam Little, or excuse me, it was Webb Little, able to beat that ball out and continue the Ithaca season. Meanwhile, Shenandoah lost a tough one to Worcester in the winner's bracket. They went down 13-5. They had a lead going into the 5th and 6th innings, but 4 runs surrendered in the 6th, 2 in the 7th, and a rough 9th inning in which they walked multiple batters. So they are now fighting to continue their season this afternoon.
So we're down to 6 in this tough regional bracket that makes up the Mid-East region. So the count's even 2-2. And we've seen a lot of great baseball this week, Cody. Very fortunate to get a break in the weather for these morning games. As we've seen a battle with the sun. Here's a spinner that rolls out. Catcher's going to come out and play that. Andrew Woolner throws down to first to Andrew Bailey for the out.
And one thing, Darian, that I've noticed about this regional tournament so far is that we've seen a lot of upsets so far. Worcester, the 1 seed, they've gotten it done twice so far, but the 7 seed Adrian stays in the winner bracket with 2 victories. We saw already the 2 seed Otterbein knocked off. They were 2-out, which was very surprising. We saw the 4 seed Marietta also go 2-out. So just because the seedings are the way they are doesn't mean that it's going to be the top 4 seeds in the final games.
Defensively for the Bombers, we've mentioned Robbie Buffett's pitching. Andrew Woolner behind the plate. Jake Crinelli's at third, Jack Lynch at short, Webb Little at second, Andrew Bailey rounds out the infield at first. That one bounces in to make the count 1-1. Dominic Baresta's in left, Matt Carey in center, and Sam Little out in right field.
The pitcher, Buffett, 3-5 on the year in 9 starts, 13 total appearances. He's thrown 52 innings coming into this game. And he owns a 3.81 ERA, 45 strikeouts, or excuse me, 27 strikeouts to 13 walks.
And there's Newsman who puts it down the line and right. That'll roll all the way back to the corner. He rounds first. He's going to have a stand-up double with 2 outs here in the first.
Well, Newsman only 1 for 4 in yesterday's contest, but having a great season thus far, coming into this game with a 335 average. And he adds to his hit total. That's now 62 on the year for the junior first baseman.
Keegan Wolford, the designated hitter, due up next, hitting on the 5 spot. The rest of the lineup for the Hornets. The 6th spot will be Nick Good, the left fielder. 7 hole is filled by Christian Rice, the third baseman. Henry Delaverne in center is in the 8th spot. And trying to turn over the lineup is Robert Marcel and at short. First pitch was a strike from Buffett. This one fouled off quickly in the hole. 0-2 is Wolford.
Wolford 1 for 4 yesterday. He scored a run. Currently batting .345 on the year. 65 RBI leads the team. Also has come across to score 42 himself.
Buffett tried to get him reaching, couldn't get him to go. Just too far outside. Count goes to 1-2. Buffett checks the runner and delivers. Blooper into center, but that one won't drop as Matt Carey was charging in. So Nussman gets on with a 2-out double. Can't get anything to come of it. We'll go to the second, still not at a 0. We'll be back here on ACTV. Here we are, top of 2. Gerard Phillips gets in his warm-up tosses. Sam Little steps into the box, and we're ready to get number 2 underway. Defensively for the Hornets, Chase Smallwoods behind the plate. Christian Rice at third, Robert Marcel at short. Tristan Baker is at second, and Luke Nussman is at first. First pitch, check swing, called strike by the home plate umpire. Grant Thompson's out in right, Henry Delaverne's in center, and Nick Good rounds out the Hornet defense in left field. The 0-1 popped into shallow left field. Marcel will retreat to haul that one in. That'll bring up Andrew Bailey, the first baseman for the Bombers.
Well, we just saw Sam Little there. He had been batting in the 5-hole the first 2 games of this tournament, but he was 5 for 6 yesterday, had 2 hits against LaRoche in their opener, so him and Bailey switching spots in the lineup. Bailey, a rough day yesterday, 0 for 6 with 2 strikeouts.
First pitch in there for a strike. Here's the 0-1. Check swing, just missed outside. We'll push the count even to 1-1.
And even though he had a rough day yesterday, Bailey, you would imagine, will have to come out of this 291 on the season. He's driven in 36 runs and scored 29.
That one fouled off to the right side. 1-2 the count. And in all fairness, their game yesterday was played in what the start of the rainstorm was that ended up pushing today's game 1 to today. We couldn't quite get it in last night, so we had to move it to this morning.
Yeah, what started off for the Ithaca game was really a beautiful day. In about the 7th or 8th inning, the storm cell kind of moved in. And during the Shenandoah Worcester contest, it was just kind of miserable out there, consistent rain. So glad to see that it's dry so far today. Storm's supposed to move in around 2 o'clock, so that might affect the schedule. We're scheduled for 4 today, so hopefully we can get all of those in.
The 2-2 pitch is sent into center field, right at Delaverne. For the 3rd time today, a Bomber batter has flew out. Garrett Callahan comes in, designated hitter. Right now we got a cloud cover, wind pushing out towards the outfield. This one's driven hard down the line. Fair ball. It's going to bounce off the fence. And Callahan, with 2 outs wisely, comes back to first. No sense in trying to stretch it out and get thrown out of the inning.
A nice piece of hitting there by Callahan. Stays back, drives that one right down the line, but got to give some credit to Good out in left field. That fence juts right out to the line, right about where that ball was fielded. And we see a lot of players who are new to Nicolay Field kind of have trouble fielding that angle, but he did a nice job of holding Callahan to a single.
Matt Carey watches a first pitch strike, and if you really look at it, that fence comes all the way up to the foul line. So there's not very many balls you're going to have to play off that fence.
It's about 1.5 feet from the foul line once it jets out suddenly, a little under 100 feet from the wall out in the outfield.
That one's fouled off by Carey. 0-2 count. Callahan, the first hit on the board for the Bombers. As do Phillips. We'll tally another strikeout. That's his second of the day, and I believe they were both looking, if I remember correctly. So that'll get him out of the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the second here at Nicolay Field. Don't go anywhere. You're watching ACTV. And here we are, bottom of the second. Chase Smallwood, the catcher, will have the leadoff duties for the Hornets. A muggy 70-degree day here in Adrian, Michigan. We have an 8-mile-an-hour breeze that we said was blowing out to the outfield. But that's not enough to keep it from being very sticky and humid.
Yeah, the sun came out for just a smidge right before the start of this game, kind of heated things up enough to make it a little uncomfortable out there.
Players will have to stay hydrated throughout today. Hydration a huge factor in performance.
Don't want to see any cramps out there.
Here's the 2-1 offering. That one misses high and inside. I'll push the count to 3-1. This one blooped into left field. It's going to drop. Leadoff single for Smallwood. That'll bring up Nick Good, the left fielder.
Good one hit in 4 at-bats against Worcester yesterday, but that hit was a double. He also walked once, drove in a run, and also scored one himself.
Leadoff man aboard, Buffett from the stretch. It's going to get Good right in the back. So just like that, runners on first and second for the Hornets, nobody out.
You might say that that pitch hit him real good. Real good, not a great grammar sentence. I'm trying to make a pun here, but regardless, Buffett in a little bit of a jam here. Runners on second and first, nobody out.
So that'll bring up Christian Rice. The runner in scoring position for the second time today. Looks the bunt, pulls back to take ball one.
Rice 1 for 3 in yesterday's contest. He had a couple of walks. Currently batting .280 on the year. One of the few starters in the Hornets lineup who is hitting under 300, but .280 nothing to slouch about. He's driven in 10 runs so far, looking for his 11th, and has also scored 11 runs. Not too much power in his bat, only 3 doubles.
Quick mountain visit comes to an end.
That was head coach George Valicente in his 40th season with the Ithaca Bombers.
Shows bunt again, can't get it down in play.
Darren, we saw in the first game today the LaRoche Red Hawks coach who started as a head coach with LaRoche at the age of 23. So fairly young. That was Coach Chase Rowe. Coach Valicente, 40 years with Ithaca. He was a 1966 graduate, so he was pretty young as well, you got to think, when he started at the helm of the Bombers baseball program.
And that looks like it could be another long tenure over there for LaRoche. 22 years old, getting the job. Teams in the regionals. A lot of success as they now move to the elimination bracket. That's a pretty risky decision, trying to bunt with 2 strikes. He struggled to get the first 2 in play, and Buffett gave him a lot of fits. I've seen a lot of teams go to the small ball look, trying to sacrifice guys over, trying to get that first run on the board, and any run for that matter here in the regionals. They know how important runs are. It's good to see little small balls, not everything going for the fences these days.
Yeah, and a lot of modern sabermetric analysts are against the bunt. They say the numbers prove that a bunt is nothing but an out. It really doesn't improve your chances of scoring, but we've seen it work quite a few times throughout this season for Adrian, and again in this Mid-East regional tournament, teams have used it to their advantage.
So here's the 0-1. And if I do recall, I believe the first game for Shenandoah, the SID was sitting next to me, and he said that the head coach's philosophy is whenever there's a runner on first and second with less than, I believe it was less than 2 outs. That's where I'm not very positive. It's a bunt 100% of the time. He even did that with his designated hitter. So it shows that he holds true to that. As there's a charge put into one down to the left. Where it is right at left fielder Dominic Baresta. 2 outs after the first 2 men get on. Robert Marcel, the 9-hitter, comes up. He'll look to get the runners across. Watches pitch number 1 go low.
Marcel and Delaverne switching places in the lineup today. Marcel 0 for 2. Struck out both at bats, was later pulled for Jamie Nail. I think it was a base running mistake that eventually got him pulled from the game, but back in the lineup today.
The 1-1 pitch fouled off. And I'm sure you'll see a lot of lineup changes, rotating them around in the batting order. It's a critical time of the year. If you're not performing, you're going to see yourself drop in the lineup. Luckily for Marcel, he's got the glove to keep him in the lineup, but he's going to get moved down just a bit.
Actually, a very solid season for the junior this year. 374 average, like I said yesterday in the broadcast. Really nothing to be surprised at. Shenandoah as a team hitting 328 on the year.
There's a look back to second from Buffett.
He's also driven in 36 runs and scored 47.
Here's the 2-2. Looking for 48. That one's fouled off.
Not often you see somebody at the bottom of the lineup with 36 runs batted in.
And that's what you want on your 9-hitter. He's essentially a second leadoff guy. You want someone that can turn it over, get it back to the top of the lineup, and not kind of halt things down at the bottom and start a new inning like it looks like we're going to do here. As he flies out to the center fielder to end the second. First two men on, can't get him aboard. Get him across, rather. So we'll go to the third, still scoreless. We'll be back here on ACTV. And we're back here on ACTV as Jack Lynch, the shortstop, steps in for the Bombers. If you're just joining us, I'm Darian Pitcher alongside my partner, Cody Alexander. And Cody, looks like we have a pitcher's duel for the second game of the day. Both pitchers working very quickly and efficiently. Only 3 hits combined. So that first one goes in for a strike from Phillips.
Yeah, the Hornets got a 2-out double back in the first, unable to put him across. Came back with a leadoff double in the last inning, but Ithaca pitcher Robbie Buffett able to strand him.
That one fouled off the ankle. Quick 0-2 count for Lynch.
So far, 11 innings of baseball played on this Saturday, and only 1 run scored between the 4 teams.
That one hits the umpire, but he was in foul territory when contact was made, so therefore it's a foul ball. He looked kind of uncertain.
No, that was a good call.
He made the right call.
He was in foul territory when it hit him. It was a pretty hard hit ball, though. He's acting like it was just a little kickball or something, not that hard. He's taking it like a champ down there.
Took it very well, and as you can see, when you're the umpire in the field, you want to be in foul territory for that reason. And when he was trying to move out of the way, I think that kind of messed him a little bit on where he was located on the field. Looked down, realized he was in foul territory as he should have been. Made the right call.
There's a little bit of slicing action on that liner.
And I'm sure when you have a line shot coming at you like that, mine's a little scrambled. Did the right thing. Good work by this umpiring crew. And his partner behind the plate had a little help with that.
That's why there's 4 on the field.
And if you do get the nod to come out here and officiate the game, you are one of the better crews around. That one misses wide, 2-2.
You know, umpires and really officials in any sport get a lot of grief. Nobody really thinks about their perspective. I actually had the opportunity this winter to meet MLB umpire Scott Barry. And just talking to him, you realize really what goes into the job of officiating and how tough it is. And you think of these men in blue out here really as robots who are just making calls, but the way that Barry explained it to me, their main role is kind of managing people. Sure, they're out there making the calls, but they have to explain to the teams why the calls they make were made. And it's really, if you have an opportunity, just speak to somebody who officiates a sports game, because you'll get a whole new perspective really of how the game is called.
Hey, we just seen Lynch bounce one up the middle there for a hit. And Cody, I, in my college days, would ump over the summer. And even Little League baseball, I mean, there's always the parents that think this is the major leagues and everything should be perfect. But when you are on that side, you do get that perspective. There's 3 teams out there on the field. And it's all fun. And in reality, umpires don't typically make them much. They do it for the love of the game to give it back.
And that's actually something that Barry talked about. He feels that no matter what sport you are in, if you are an athlete, you should have experience officiating that game, because you'll bring that perspective and you'll be a little more courteous of the men that are trying to call this game for you. So, for example, he would suggest that all of these men out on the field here should have experience umpiring a baseball game.
Andrew Wollner's the batter for the Bombers. He's got a 1-0 count. Hit and run on, and it does the job as the double play is avoided. Moves the runner up to second. Good call there by the coaching staff for the Bombers, and it was executed pretty well. Obviously not the result they wanted, but did avoid the double play.
And with hit and run, the main thing is to get the ball on the ground. Runner taking off from first, if you put it in the air, he has a chance of getting doubled off. So even though you typically want it on the right side of the infield, Baresta does a nice job and gets the job done. Runner on second now with 1 out.
Baresta fouls this one down the line, down the foul line. The catch was made by Grant Thompson. Great play up against the fence.
Yeah, you couldn't see it on the camera, but as we said, that fence just juts out to the line. He hits that one, had the room, and it goes crashing into the fence. Wollner alertly moves up to third on the play, but a great play by the Shenandoah right fielder, Grant Thompson.
Hey, Cody, I was looking at the umpire. He was given the sign that it was indeed a foul ball, even though it was caught, just to kind of let him know. So that's where my hesitation came from, but good communication over there.
Well, ACTV is a student-ran broadcast. Darian and myself, not professionals behind the mic. We're doing our best, so if you're listening to this and have any constructive criticism, go ahead and leave a comment. We would love to know how we can improve behind the mic.
1-1 count, 2 outs. Runner on third now. That's Jack Lynch. Got to second on the hit and run. Scampered over there as the foul ball was caught. And that was a good, smart decision by him. Great base running to not kind of just get lulled to sleep and watch the play. He was ready to tag up, knowing that that'd be a tough throw to get him over at third. Moves 90 feet away from getting the first run of the game.
Well, ball hanging up in the air like that, and it, for the most part, stayed foul, so there was no point in getting off the bag. He stood there and was ready for the catch to be made, which Thompson did make the catch. Little crash into the wall afterwards, so didn't even receive a throw. So we'll see if the Bombers here can get the job done. They had a little bit of a struggle in yesterday's game. Although they came out on top, they ended up leaving 15 runners on base during that 12-inning game.
Webb Little trying to not make that happen here. He's going to ground to the second baseman, Baker, who's going to scoop it up and throw it over to Newsman at first. And the Bombers will leave a runner on third. And we're going to go to the bottom of the third. Still tied at 0. Top of the lineup coming up for the Hornets. Grant Thompson steps into the box. Flew out to the shortstop in his first at bat. Buffett on the mound. Bouncer back up the middle. That'll get through for a base hit. And for the second time today, we have, the third hit for the Bombers.
Second time today that they've had the leadoff man aboard.
There we go. Makes sense out of what I was trying to say there.
Smallwood had the leadoff double back in the bottom of the second, but Hornets unable to score him, so we'll see if they can get this run across.
We got a foul ball here, as the bunt attempt just did catch the bottom portion of the bat. And we have seen a lot of small ball. We have seen a lot of struggle with it as well. We've seen several bunt attempts popped up. We've seen catchers make great plays in foul territory. We've seen pitchers catching them. So although they are electing to go to small ball, we've seen a lot of struggling with it.
Yeah, not a lot of great bunting, but in yesterday's contest versus Worcester, I believe it was the 3-hitter Newsman, picture-perfect bunting form. Or now that I remember it, I think it was Thompson, the runner on first base, but he put down a picture-perfect bunt. It was excellent technique. And really besides that, we haven't seen too many great bunts put down, a lot right back to the mound, which is what you don't want to do. We've seen a few pop-ups. So overall, these good hitting teams not doing a great job of getting the bunt down. But
right there's a good one from Baker. He moves the runner up to second. And when you are sacrifice bunting, you don't really want to play the line. That was a good spot right between, split the distance between the pitcher and the foul line. I was able to move the runner across to second. So it'll bring up Luke Newsman. Runner on second, one down. Double down the first base side, his first at bat. First pitch misses, 1-0. Long look in before he delivers. He'll run the count 2-0. Jack Lynch holding the runner on, trying to keep his lead as minimal as possible. There's a strike from Buffett. That'll be 2-1 now to Newsman. Curveball just can't find its way back into the zone. Makes the count 3-1 with a designated hitter, Keegan Wolford, looming in the on-deck circle. The 3-1. That one's driven into right field. Going back is Sam Little. He can't make the catch at the wall. That one bounces in towards the infield. That'll plate the runner. And just like that, Newsman has a double and a triple on the day.
Well, 3-1 hitters count. Buffett leaves that one right over the heart of the plate, and it was a high fly ball, a lot of carry. Sam Little out in right field for the Bombers. Looked like he had a beat on it at the last second, saw how close he was to the wall, kind of got uneasy, couldn't find the ball again. And because it had such long hang time, Newsman easily motors into third, drives in the first run of this ball game.
It's a great hustle. A lot of guys, when you pop it out, you'll see some of them start to jog and not really hustle it out. It's really good to see the hustle there, which allowed them to get to third. And that's something worth mentioning as well, Cody, is Wolford's into the box with an 0-1 count. With this all-turf field, there's no warning track.
Exactly, and I think that might have tripped up Little a little bit there. Like I said, he looked like he was about to secure it the last second. He hit the wall and just couldn't find the ball again.
Wolford's going to beat the second baseman, Webb Little, who's given him some depth over there. He's going to drive in the run. RBI single for Wolford. Said plates Newsman. So we got 2 runs in, 1 man on, 1 man out. Chase Smallwood will come in. He doubled back in the second. Squares up a bunt and pulls back. Watches that one miss wide, 1-0.
That time a 0-1 fastball to Wolford, who just sat back on it, ripped it into right field. So the Bombers got away in the first 2 innings with leaving runners on, but with this Shenandoah lineup,
hit and run is on. And that ball stays just fair as it goes over third base. And with the hit and run on, you're able to see Wolford make his way over to third. We got runners on the corner with Nick Good stepping up to the plate. The sticks are hot for the Hornets.
They put up 5 runs yesterday against a very good Worcester club. So it's no surprise here that they are hitting, especially with the heart of the lineup starting things off in this 3rd inning. We'll see if Smallwood could keep it going here. He doubled his last time up to lead off the second, was stranded.
The Ithaca coach signals down to get an arm loose in the bullpen. First glance, I believe it's Emmett Dunn making the trot down behind the right field wall.
There's my mistake. Good up to the plate. Smallwood the one with that single down the left field line.
And Cody, through 8 games, we've seen a lot of big innings. This one blooped to center, could be trouble. Matt Carey has it played perfect. Here comes the relay. It's going to go all the way through, but not in time, as Wolford will come in to score. It's 3 runs here in the 3rd for the Hornets. But it seems, Cody, we've had pitching duels that once the seal gets broken and the first run comes across, we've seen a lot of crooked numbers in innings.
Back in the 4th game of day 1, we saw an 11-5 Adrian lead. Yesterday, Shenandoah fell to Worcester 13-5, so we've seen both close games, 1-0 contest to start today. We've also seen some lopsided victories.
Gonna bring up Christian Rice. 2 out, runner on first. Here's the 0-1 offering from Buffett. Curveball bends its way back in. 0-2. Off speed, bounce to third. Big hop. The throw from Generali's in time. And that'll conclude the bottom of the 3rd, but not after 3 Hornets cross the plate. and open up the scoring here in game number 9.
Shenandoah in the bottom of the third inning. They get 3 runs on for this. There were no errors.
I believe we have Webb Little. Nope, we'll have Generali, Sam Little, and Bailey coming up to the plate next for the Bombers. Jake Generali, the third baseman, ground out to the shortstop in his first appearance in the first inning, steps up to the box, which means we are ready to start inning number 4. If you're just now joining us, Shenandoah scoring all 3 runs in the bottom half of the third. Bombers looking to get an answer here. As Generali watches the first pitch come in for a strike. Off speed, finds its way in. Quickly 0-2 for Phillips. That one misses outside. Good spot for 0-2. Phillips showing a lot of command early.
Yeah, 38 pitches so far. 29 of them have been strikes.
This one goes back to Phillips, and he can't quite handle it. He's frustrated with himself. Had an opportunity. It's misplayed.
Yeah, that pitch outside on the 0-2. Generali just kind of reaches out and taps that one. A little hop, handcuffs to Phillips. So we'll see how they rule that play. Not hard hit, but again, a weird hop at the end of that play. They will rule it a single.
That one hit hard up the middle. Just past the diving glove of Tristan Baker. So back-to-back singles to start out the 4th.
That is now the 8th hit of this tournament for Sam Little. Turning it on when it matters. That's 6 hits in elimination games.
And that'll get you to the 4 spot. Andrew Bailey steps up next. Runners on first and third. Bombers threatening, nobody out. Here in the top of the 4th. Looking to answer a 3-run mark put up by the Hornets just a half inning ago. Phillips checks in on Generali at second. First pitch misses for a ball.
Although they are down 3-0, you cannot count these Bombers out. They actually faced a 3-0 deficit after the first 1.5 innings. Came back and scored 2 in the second, 1 in the third to knot things up at 3, where they stayed until the 11th. They then gave up a run in the top half of that inning to to Otterbein. Came back and answered with a run of their own, and then, of course, the walk-off infield single in the 12th to send them to today.
Here's the 1-1 offering. Squaring up to bunt now is Bailey. Right back to the pitcher. That'll get the runners 90 feet closer. Job well done by Bailey. One down, runners on second and third for the designated hitter, Garrett Callahan. He got a single down the line. Back in the second. Looking to stay hot here. Watches the first pitch. Miss low for ball one.
Well, Callahan did not get the start the first two games, but the designated hitter that Ithaca went to during those contests, Adam Gallagher, struggled. He went hitless when he saw the field. They brought Callahan in. Like Darian said, he singled in his first at-bat today, 0 for 2 yesterday, but his first at-bat hit a hard line drive. A nice play by the Otterbein third baseman.
Chops this one to third, feeling it on the bag. Was Newsman. Heads up playing when he can get the out. Almost got two. But sliding in is Generali, and he'll come around to score. Ithaca gets one back.
And an RBI there for Callahan. Chops that one up the line where Newsman fielded it. All he had to do was just move his foot a couple inches on the bag and almost turned the double play, but Generali able to sneak his hand in there.
So here's Matt Carey. Big run standing on third. So he watches the off-speed go wide. 1-0. As we talked about Callahan, sometimes all it takes, Cody, is just seeing one ball find a hole to turn things around. This one bounces away from the catcher. We're going to have a play at the plate. Trying to slide inside was Little. Looked like it would have been closer if he would have stayed outside. Nonetheless, heads up play by Phillips, who redeemed himself for misplaying the one that Generali sent back up to him. So that run from third will not score on the pass ball. Nonetheless, the Bombers get one back. We'll go to the bottom of the fourth. 3-1 Hornets. And that first pitch fouled off by Delaverne. We apologize for being a little late on the comeback. A little technical difficulty with the video. But as you can see, we're back up and running. Another pitch fouled off, 0-2.
Delaverne flew out to left field his first time up. Buffett now 53 pitches on the afternoon.
Fouls off another one to stay alive.
We see an AC football player as a ball runner on the third base side. I think we should take this time to give a quick thank you, as we will continue to do throughout the week, for all of the volunteers that is making this Mid-East Regional such a success. Second time that Adrian has hosted, first time back in 2009, and it takes a lot of people to make this weekend run smoothly.
Absolutely, it's long days. You try to get in 4 games a day. A lot of people rotating shifts as far as parking to concessions, all the technical stuff up here in the press box, the PA announcing, scoreboard operation, the music.
Athletic trainers,
yeah,
everything.
The whole 9 yards.
So thank you to everybody, and we look forward to working with you throughout the rest of the weekend.
This one fouled off again. It's at least 4 foul balls in this at bat.
Delaverne putting up a fight here.
Counts 1-2. Buffett, despite giving up the 3 runs, has pitched very well today. He has a strikeout, no walks.
Yeah, just ran into a little bit of trouble when he faced the top of the lineup. The last inning, he was on the bump.
And this one hooks foul as well.
Third base umpire getting a little bit of work down there. Moving around, trying to get out of the way.
Did manage to get out of the way of this one, though. He was tagged a little earlier. And that was the second time through the lineup for Buffett. Top half clearly had him figured out. Liked what they seen. This one, weak grounder up the middle. Shortstop trying to make a play. Had to go barehand with how slow that one got to him. Couldn't quite get it.
Yeah, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Delaverne getting handcuffed on that one. That little flare dying, and a do-or-die play for Lynch, just unable to handle it.
So Robert Marcel will step in. That's another turf factor, as might not eat up as much spin as what grass would.
Third inning in a row that the Hornets have put their leadoff man aboard.
So we have a runner on first. 1 strike, nobody out to the 9-hitter Marcel. Shows bunt, pulls back, that one wide. Wolner doing a great job of getting in front of it, knocking it down. Generali playing in tight, trying to take away the bunt. He's creeping closer. Bunt showed again. Buffett missing the zone. There's another attempt, gets it down the first base side. Back to the pitcher, Buffett. His only play is at first. So Delaverne will move up to second on the sac bunt.
That'll bring us back to the top of the Hornets lineup. It's Coach Valicente going to the mound. We'll see if he wants to stay with Buffett. Elimination game here, so he will go to his bullpen.
That's the 3rd combined sacrifice bunt in this game. We've mentioned a lot of teams in this 8-team regional electing to go there.
What we saw in the first game today, the Red Hawks, instead of going with bunts in situations where they needed to push a man to second base, they tried to steal And Frank Resto for Adrian behind the dish. He had only thrown out 5 of 38 coming into the contest. He threw out all 3 who tried to take second, actually an Adrian single game record.
Which that's good scouting by LaRoche, knowing that Resto struggled to throw out runners all season long. Comes out and has a day. And even in the post-game conference, if you do tune into those that will be posted on YouTube as well, Resto gave all the credit to the pitcher, Pierce Banks, for locating those pitches and giving him something good to work with to get throws off. And good gamble on the LaRoche side, knowing the catcher.
Almost got away with one, too. The last one, I think it was a little miscommunication up the middle. Second baseman Wood didn't break until the last second. The runner might have gotten his hand in there, but umpire called him out.
So Tom Cosentino will come in relief. The left-handed sophomore will take over. After 3 1/3.
Well, Cosentino, one of the better arms out of the Bomber pen. 8 appearances on the year so far. He's pitched 23 total innings, 15 strikeouts to 6 walks, and has a 1.17 ERA.
He'll come into the game to face the top of the lineup for the 3rd time through. Grant Thompson, also a lefty. He's going to inherit the runner on second, Henry Delaverne. Try to keep him off the board and keep this a 2-run game. We'll see if he can make it happen.
And the Bomber bullpen still relatively fresh. They used 3 pitchers yesterday, but their starter, Emmett Dunn, pulled after 1 2/3. They brought in Tyler Hill, who pitched 5 1/3 of scoreless ball, then went to Jack Morello. He got the win after throwing 5 innings, only giving up 1 run, struck out 7. So luckily for the Bombers, their bullpen still not in too bad of shape.
That's very impressive to have only used 3 pitchers in a 12-inning game. That's a huge saver. And it's risky. You're playing an elimination game. You kind of have to throw your best shot, hoping to advance. And yet they got through it using only 3 guys. So after the ground out to first, that'll move the runner to third with 2 outs. Bring up Tristan Baker. He's grounded out and had a sac bunt his first 2 appearances. This one just gets under the diving glove of Webb Little, and Delaverne will come across to score, make it 4-1 Hornets. RBI single for Baker.
And that will officially close the book for Buffett. He went 3 1/3, gave up 4 runs, had 1 strikeout, 0 walks.
Off speed, runner goes, and just gets in time. Good pitch to go on as he caught him in a curveball. But the arm of Woolner made that one a close one. So now another runner in scoring position. This one driven into center, going back is Matt Carey. Makes it a little close for comfort for the Bombers, but he is able to put it away. But not after the Hornets tally 1 more. Bottom half of the lineup, 7, 8, 9, coming up for the Bombers. Matt Carey will lead it off for the Bombers. He struck out looking in the second. One of 2 strikeouts for Phillips. Starts him off with a curveball. Swing and a miss, strike number 1. Phillips only giving up 1 run on 4 hits. Another off speed. This one just creeps outside. .50 pitches now. 35 of them strikes. Five groundouts so far. It's a good day on the mound. He's held the leadoff hitters to 2 for 4. But when it matters the most, he's held them to 0-3 with runners in scoring position. So the count goes even, 2-2. And 1 for 6 with runners on. That's what it's about. Once you get somebody aboard, making sure they don't get across the score. This one's going to bloop into right field. It'll take a couple bounces in front of Thompson. Leadoff single for Matt Carey. That'll push the Bombers to 3 for 5 in the leadoff spot.
Well, so far only 2 left on base for Ithaca.
Runner on first, grounder to the shortstop. We'll see if they can turn 2. Second got him. And they're going to call the second baseman interference on the slide, so that'll make the double play happen.
A late slide by Carey, but I don't think that the second baseman Baker would have gotten that throw off regardless. But I think it's because he made the action and the slide was so late that they're going to call it a double play. Coach Valicente obviously not happy with that one.
So the ruling that we're getting from second base umpire was that he went over the bag to take out the second baseman Baker. Dangerous play, and obviously baseball as a whole at every level concerned about safety. They're making some rule changes to kind of protect the defender trying to turn 2. And it's always been a play where the runner tries to take him out, trying to break it up. But now we're starting to see a lot more interference calls trying to turn 2. And this one's going to ground out, and just like that, hitting over. So after a little bit of a controversial double play, that'll conclude the top of the 5th. We'll go to the bottom half, 4-1, still Shenandoah. Keegan Wolford, designated hitter, will start the inning. This is first look at Tom Cosentino, who came in relief after 3 1/3 from the starter, Robbie Buffett. The runner was on second, did come around to score. That puts us where we are at 4-1. 8 hits so far for the Hornets. As Wolford watches that 0-2 miss wide for ball. Here's the 1-2 offering, off speed, driven into center, getting turned around is Carey, and he'll play that one hop off the wall. And Wolford's in with a leadoff double to add to his RBI single back in the third.
Not a great 1-2 pitch by Cosentino. Leaves that one over the heart of the plate. And the cleanup man, Wolford, hits a shot. I thought for a second it might get out the way that the center fielder Carey went after it, but hit it to the deepest part of the park, and instead will have to settle for a double.
Yeah, he kind of did give up on it a little bit, knew he was going to play it off the wall. 10 home runs for Wolford on the season, leads this Hornet squad, and it looked like he had 11 there. But he did just mark up the wall, measured out the distance, say about 405 maybe, 400 at least.
We've still only seen one home run in this regional. It was the Otterbein first baseman who went deep off of Bulldogs ace Tommy Parsons, who had only given up one home run on the season prior to that.
That gave Otterbein the lead. Playing deep in the hole now is Webb Little. Had him played up perfectly. We'll go 4-1 for out number one. But pushing the ball to the right side does move Wolford over to third. Job well done. Nick Good has a chance. He had a sac fly back in the third, hit by a pitch in the second. Looking to add another sacrifice at worst. This at bat with one out. This one hooking foul.
That time Good taking aim at his coach over at third. That's Coach Anderson.
Here's the 0-1 offering. Grounded to third. He's going to try his luck at home. And Wolford's not there to make it. He was taken off on contact.
And the way that Coach Anderson responds to that play, I don't think that's the play they had on. Wolford going on his own, and a nice play by Generali over at third, bodies that one up, and then the strike to the plate.
Typically on third, your base running rules, you're not looking to go if it's hit to the corners. Anything up the middle, if you're a speedster, you have a chance. Other than that, you kind of want to look it through, especially with only one out, as we have a second pickoff move over to first.
Generali was playing even with the bag too, so it's not as if he was playing deep. Just a base running mistake there for the Hornets that cost them a run.
So now 2 outs, runner on first. Left-hander Cosentino bounces one in for ball one. Nick Good, 9 stolen bases. Just a touch behind the 21 from Robert Marcel.
Just
still a good base stealer. Only caught stealing once.
The Hornets have 3 different players with double-digit steals on the year.
Look at that freshman Delaver with 12. He'll return all those guys as Marcel and Baker, the other two, in double digits juniors. They'll try to look to lead this Hornet team back to regionals next year. 1-1 count. 2 outs, runner on first. This one bounced up to second. They'll flip it over to the second base. The shortstop covering. So they get a runner to third, but they can't score him. And we'll see if that comes back to haunt them as we go to the top of the sixth. 4-1 Shenandoah. And we're back. Nicolay Field on the campus of Adrian College. You're watching ACTV. I'm Darian Pitcher. Cody Alexander, my partner in commentary. Sean Witcher behind the scenes. The rain is now falling. We just checked our radar. We got a couple of small cells that are in the area. Nothing we can't play through. And if you're Ithaca, you might be thankful as the rain makes its second appearance. Played out in their favor against Otterbein in their first elimination game. Top of the order here for the Bombers. Dominic Baresta, the left fielder, steps in. De Phillips still on the mound. So you can hear the rain now coming through our headsets.
And the Phillips will have to be careful out there on the mound. We saw a few times yesterday pitchers slipping out there on the turf mound.
Although the scattered showers, we have our first slip. They are scattered, not very big in diameter, as the ump's going to call them off the field. They were a lot of yellow. So although they are small and look to have short lives to them, they do carry a bit of strength. They're going to clear the field.
Hopefully this one passes through quickly. Said already one postponement last night. We don't want to see too many more. 4 games on the slate for today, and it'd be good if we could get them all in.
So we'll go under delay. We'll try to keep you up to date as far as what we have going on in the comments of our live stream. We will be back as soon as play resumes here on ACTV. And we're back after a brief downpour of rain. The mound has been cured, dried off to the best of its ability. The pitcher feels safe to throw. We have a 1-2 count to the leadoff hitter, Dominic Baresta. And he fouls it off to stay alive.
4-1, Shenandoah leads here in the top of the 6th inning. Starting pitcher Gerard de Phillips still on the mound for the Hornets.
Cody, we were talking in the brief break. As that one's bounced back to the pitcher, De Phillips will handle it this time. A bit of redemption. He's not going to let that mistake happen twice. He goes 1-3. You get the first out of the inning. We were talking about how lucky we've been with the weather, that we had drizzles for the most part last night, but having turf, it allows you to get back to the game faster. You don't have to fill in puddles and rake the infield and all that. You don't have to cover the entire field. So we've been lucky as far as that stance with the weather.
I mean, I feel with the Shenandoah-Worcester contest, there was rain for the most part of that game. I feel like that one would have ended up being postponed until today if it had not been for the turf.
We would have had 2 games to make up, which would have put everything behind. We have a fly out over to Grant Thompson. Over in right field to bring up Jake Generali. So we hope you enjoyed your brief break. Maybe got up to refuel on some snacks and water as we did.
Much needed too.
First pitch strike to the third baseman. Ground out to short. And he was the one, the beneficiary of the little bobble from De Phillips. Got on to first, eventually came around to score. He's going to sky this one to left center. The center fielder, Henry Delaverne, will call off Nick Good. That'll retire the side. Let's go to the bottom of the 6th. So Tom Cosentino from the bullpen gets ready to start his 3rd inning of work. We're in the bottom of the 6th after a short rain delay. Currently sitting 4-1 in favor of Shenandoah. This is an elimination game. And first pitch swinging, pop up to center field. Matt Carey has it measured out and he'll make the out. As Cosentino makes quick work of Delaverne. He's now flied out twice to accompany his single. Robert Marcel will step in, sacrifice bunt in his last at bat. He's 0 for 1 on the day. Popped out to center in the 2nd inning. Finds himself behind 0-1 after the first pitch. Here's the 0-1 offering. Curveball finds its way in for a strike. Marcel looked to be fooled on that one.
This is an elimination game, currently game 9. So whoever loses this game will have to go home for the rest of the year. Their 2018 campaign will come to an end. Meanwhile, the winner of this game will go on to face the winner of the game that follows between Wabash and La Roche.
Soft pop-up. Costantino will take it himself. Quick 2 outs. Grant Thompson will come up to the plate. So a quick 2 outs for Costantino. Has yet to give up a run, as he came in with a runner on second, but that's charged to the starter, Robbie Buffett, who left after 3 1/3 innings of work. Off speed, misses high, 2-0 to Thompson.
And again, the bullpen is coming in clutch for Ithaca, as Constantino has come in and done nothing but thrown strikes. Came into this at bat with 22 pitches, 18 of them strikes.
And there's a shot that's going to find the gap. 1 hop, 2 played by Carey. Big round of first base from Thompson. Was really considering it and then thought better of it. Buffett gave up 3 runs in the 3rd. That was answered by 1 run from Jake Generali. Sam Little credited with the RBI for that. Pickoff move not in time. Very close as Thompson caught off guard.
A little close to possibly being called a balk, as Constantino, a long stride towards home plate, a little bit on the border of how far he could go when you decide to throw to first.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe you get 45 degrees to work with, and I think he was about 44.5.
It was very close there.
That pitch runs in on Baker. I believe he was able to get the bat out in time. Ball will go to the backstop, and Thompson will find his way over to second.
Well, sometimes batters square, try to get their barrel in the eyesight of the catcher with 2 outs. I don't think Baker was trying to lay one down there.
Also protect your runner at first, as they could have had a steal on there for Thompson.
Regardless, now a 2-out opportunity for the Hornets to push this lead to 4.
So Baker will draw a walk here. Puts runners on first and second for the Bombers. Newsman will tighten up the gloves and step into the box. 1 runner in scoring position. We've seen this often, the second baseman playing in shallow right field, allowing a lot of time with left-handed batters in the box. First pitch misses.
Shenandoah features a lot of big lefty bats, particularly at the top of the order. Making hard contact today, so Webb Little playing back, but the ball getting to him in plenty of time to make the throw over to first.
Off speed misses, 2-0. There is action over in the Bomber bullpen. So this could be the end of the night for Costantino. If he can get through this inning. Looking to keep the score 4-1. Finds the strike zone there. 2-1.
Shortstop Lynch shaded up the middle with the lefty at the plate. See if Newsman can try to work that left side hole and possibly drive in a run.
Two and two count. Steady drives it back up the middle. Will they try to score him? They will. Here comes the throw off the mark. And Grant Thompson will make it a 5-1 lead for the Hornets. Baker moves up to second. It's an RBI single. His second of the day for Newsman.
Just a 2-2 pitch down in the zone, and Newsman just drops the bat head on it, drives it right back up the box.
Keegan Wolford up now. He has a single and a double, 1 RBI. Had a chance to have 2 runs as he's scored 1 already. Looking like the base running error is not going to be very costly so far. Takes the first pitch for ball 1, so here's the 1-0. Puts a big charge into this one. His last one was off the fence. This time, Carey's going to have room to make the play. So the Hornets will strand 2, but they will, in fact, score 1. We'll go to the top of the 7th, 5-1 Shenandoah. Sam Little will start off the 7th inning. Gerard de Phillips looks to continue a strong day. There's a charge put into that one to right field. And that one's going to one hop to the wall. Leadoff double on the first pitch for Sam Little.
Sam continues to beat up on this regional pitching. That is his 9th hit of this tournament. Seems like he can do no wrong with the bat in his hand this weekend.
No better time to catch fire, especially with how close these games have been.
Still a 4-run game may seem like a lot, but we've already seen in this tournament a few teams come back from 4-run deficits.
Still 3 innings to work with. Essentially just score a couple here, a couple there. You have time to chunk it out. You don't need it all in one. They're sitting pretty with the leadoff double. However, Andrew Braley is not. He's in the hole 0-2.
Phillips pitch count in excellent condition through 6 innings up to this point. Now he has 67 pitches thrown. This will be his 68th.
Well, that's good enough to earn his 3rd strikeout of the day. Bailey will go to 0-2. That'll bring 0-4-2. That'll bring up Garrett Callahan. Singled down the line in his first attempt. Grounded out to the 3rd baseman in his 2nd. Looking to pull something here to try to get the runner to 3rd. If he can find a gap. Center fielder shading him to the left side of 2nd. Looking for him to maybe go oppo here.
The Bombers 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position so far. Only 1 for 8 with runners on.
Pitches inside. That'll miss 2-1. Favorable hitting count for Callahan. If he can put something in the right center gap, that's going to easily score Little. Good chance to set a barrel one up. He calls for time. Too slow. He's going to foul that off. As the Phillips was starting his motion towards the plate, as he was calling time. You got to protect the pitcher in that situation.
Well, we've seen a couple late calls by the home plate umpire at the box. That time, Callahan not getting the call in his favor.
Now to run the count full with 1 out. He drives it right up the middle. That throw is cut off. The runner's on the corner. Sam Little went back towards the bag a little bit.
Yeah, I did not know, I think, where the middle infielders were played. I think he thought that the shortstop might have been shaded up the middle, so he froze. I don't think he would have scored regardless. Callahan hit that ball pretty hard. Delaverne came in quickly, but an excellent opportunity now for the Bombers to get another run back as Coach Anderson goes to talk with his starter.
Being in the southeast region of Michigan, you get to watch a lot of Tiger baseball. Someone who's really good on the bases, Miguel Cabrera. He's known for his power, but if you get to watch Miguel Cabrera as regularly as we do, you notice he gets on base. The commentators really talk about it a lot as well, as he checks after every pitch where the outfield's lined up. Something that's a great habit to get in if you're a base runner. That would have helped Little out in that situation. At least gave him a chance to give the third base coach an opportunity to try to wave him around, but who knows if he would have made it there. We're going to have a pitching change here for the Hornets. And the Phillips day is done. He'll leave runners on the corner. They're going 6 1/3.
This looks like number 32, Michael Buganovic. The senior right-handed pitcher, 18 appearances on the year so far. Actually, the Shenandoah closer, he's got 7 saves on the year, a 5-2 record. He's made 5 starts as well, 2 complete games under his belt. In 62 innings pitched, he has 66 strikeouts. He's only issued 16 base on balls and owns a solid 2.18 ERA. So we will see if Buganovic can keep these Bombers runners from crossing the plate.
So Buganovic will inherit runners on the corners. This is their go-to guy out of the pen. Senior leader here. Looking for him to hold these runners. And he's been very, very good in this regional tournament as well. He's got a few innings in. Sitting at a 5-1 lead. Great day for Gerard de Phillips. Fantastic work on the mound through 6. But the coach knowing that these are big runs here, and if they can hold them here to a 0, that'll be huge for the 8th and 9th.
I mean, a 4-run lead seems like a lot, but we've seen Ithaca come back yesterday. And although de Phillips' pitch count was in reasonably good shape, it looks like Coach Anderson is going to take what many would consider the safe route and go to his big guy, try to close things out in these final 3 innings.
So here's Matt Carey. You'll be the first to see Bogdanovich. His first pitch missing low for a ball. There's a strike, 1-1 the count. Bogovich pitching in front of a crowd of, I would say, between 100 and 200 fans. Easily here at the Nick. These teams, a lot of travel to get up here. That's why we do what we do here on ACTV. So those of you who can't quite make the trip up to Adrian, Michigan, can still watch.
We'll see if Bogdanovich wants to try to go down and away. Try to get Carey to roll over on one. Try to possibly end this inning with a double play ball. The Hornets got a big double play back in the 5th inning. That was actually a result of runners' interference when the current batter, Carey, went hard into second base, a bit of a late slide, so they ended up calling Lynch out at first.
There's a shot down the line, diving stop. He bobbled it. The runner took off from third. And Christian Rice, fantastic play to stop it.
Yeah, it looked like he had a play at home, but not sure what happened there. Just dropped the ball.
Looked like he got a little bit ahead of himself. His mind was moving a little bit quicker than the body. Bobbled the ball a little bit. That'll bring in a run, make it 5-2. So it looks like Rice will get charged with the error on that. Well, that'll bring up Jack Lynch, the shortstop. Still the runner in scoring position.
A tough error there for Rice, but scorers assume that he would have made the out at home plate.
Here's the 0-1. Off speed, finds the zone. He's up to 0-2. Here's a chopper to shortstop. He's going to make the play. The scoop at first. That's in time. Marcel charging in hard. Skips it over to Newsman. 2 outs. The runner will advance to third. So we have runners on second and third with 2 outs. That'll bring up Andrew Woolner, the catcher for the Bombers. 2 critical runs in scoring position. Looking to drive in at least one. He finds the gap. With this big outfield here at Nicolay, that could easily bring in both.
Well, 2 outs, the runner on second will be off on the pitch. That's Carey, the center fielder, so you know he's got a bit of speed in his baseball repertoire.
And there he goes, checking the outfielders, as we talked about. So now he knows where everybody's playing, so he will have an idea of what to expect if the ball goes over his head. There's a strike in there, 2-1 for Woolner. Here's the 2-1 pitch. There's a blooper into left field. They're going to try to score him from second. And they're not even going to throw home. They're going to cut the runner off at first. 2 RBI, single for Andrew Woolner.
It looked like an off-speed pitch on the outside part of the plate that Woolner able to get around on and serve up into left field. So
got a brand new ball game.
Buganovic comes in, surrenders 3 hits in 4 batters. So the Hornets closer struggling right now against the Bombers.
So we got a runner on first, top of the lineup. Dominic Baresta will step in. New life for the Bombers. So they bring it to 5-4. We talked about not ruling out any team, especially in an elimination game when you know if you don't win, you're going home. Here's the first pitch to Baresta, breaking ball. Fooled him for strike 1.
With 2 outs, Rice playing about a step in front of the bag at third. And now he will back up. Baresta 0 for 3 on the day so far. He grounded out back to the pitcher his last time up.
There's the throw, not in time. Ithaca, something cooking.
Well, Buganovic got off the mound quickly on that one, but leadoff hitter Baresta busts it down the line. Close bang-bang play over at first base, but he gets there in time. So now there are runners on second and first. And the 2-hitter Webb Little 0 for 3 on the day, but he's also had a hot bat, much like his twin brother Sam. He's going to look to get the Bombers even with the Hornets.
Tying run in scoring position. Here's the pitch. Skied into center field. Looks playable though for Delaverne, and he will make the catch. The Bombers will strand 2, but not before scoring 3. We got a 5-4 ball game as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Don't stretch too long. We got a good one here on ACTV. And with the conclusion to take me out to the ball game as the fans got up, stretched the legs, get the vocals going. We're back for the bottom of the 7th. I see, Cody, you want to stretch the legs as well.
Getting a little bit of a stiff back here watching this baseball, but definitely worth it.
You got the rest of the week after the tournament to recover.
Not really. I have to go back to my normal job after this.
The real world comes to strike again. Chase Smallwood will lead it off for the Hornets. We'll look at a first pitch strike on the off-speed offering. Cosentino, quality innings out of the bullpen. He comes out for the 7th. Off speed will miss the zone. One and one. Misses low. I'll push the count 2-1.
Well, this is Shenandoah's 9th NCAA tournament appearance in the past 10 years. The squad has appeared in every single D3Baseball.com top 25 poll this season with a high ranking of 11. I believe they came into this regional tournament at the 16 spot in the D3Baseball.com poll.
That they did. They won their opener before falling to Worcester yesterday. And that's how we got to here. Currently hanging on to a 5-4 lead. Full count. Misses outside. So that's a leadoff walk for Smallwood. Nick Good will step in now, run around first. In the 4th, Ithaca tallied a run just to have it answered by Shenandoah. They're looking to repeat that here in the 7th, as their comfortable lead is now not so comfortable anymore.
Well, after this inning, if they can hold Shenandoah 2 more at bats, 6 outs, to see if they can even things up, but Cosentino will have to hold them in check.
He's done very well. He's issued 2 walks, only given up 1 run so far. His 2 2/3 innings. Squaring up the bunt. And he puts it down the first base side as the third baseman was charging. The only play for Cosentino is they go to first. That will advance the runner. It's the second sacrifice on the day for Nick Good. Coming up, Christian Rice. Strikeout looking in the 2nd. And he grounded out to 3rd in the 3rd. Good time for his first hit. The runner in scoring position. Team's up 1 with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Back to the third baseman. Throws high. And Andrew Bailey had time to come down and locate the bag. Make out number 2 after a high throw from Generali. Generali has Rice's number. It's a second assist coming off the bat of Rice. Henry Delaverne will step in, RBI single to his credit. Currently 1 for 3 with 2 pop-outs. Off speed finds its way in for a strike. Here's the 0-1. Grounder to second base. And that'll do it. So Ithaca keeps rolling. They scored 3 in the 7th to bring it within 1. We'll see if they can tally another to tie things up or take the lead in the top of the 8th. We'll be back right here on ACTV. Generali steps in. 3-4-5. Due up. Couldn't ask for a better spot in your batting order. Looking for a run late in the game. And that one's going to find the gap. Generali, extra bases to start the inning. He thought about 3, tripped up, and he's back in time. Leadoff double for Generali.
Seen these bomber hitters really utilize that right field gap. This time it's Generali going that way. A nice way to start the 8th inning, down by a run. And they have a man in scoring position, no outs. And the hot hitting Sam Little stepping to the plate.
Each team now has 11 hits to their name. 5-4 ball game, tying run 180 feet away. It's been the story of this whole tournament. There's only been, 2 games of 9 that have been kind of blowouts, if you will, big margins.
I think there's only 2 games that have been decided by more than 2 runs.
That'll move the runner to third. So Sam Little gets the job done. 90 feet away, the tying run for Andrew Bailey. Currently 0 for 2 on the day.
If you're an Ithaca fan, now would be a great time for Bailey to bust out of this little slump that he finds himself in.
Correction, there's going to be a pinch hitter for Bailey. Cam Fody.
Cam Fody came in yesterday to play third late in the game. He came up with a couple big hits, so we'll see if he can do it again here.
Corners in, middle's about halfway. First pitch is a ball. There's nobody warming up. And the bullpen for Shenandoah.
Well, this is the Hornets closer. It's his game to finish here.
He bounces one in the opposite batting box. Smallwood there. Gets the body in front, blocks it down. Keep the runner at third, 2-0 count.
Looks like Buganovic didn't get the footing he wanted there, kind of stumbled after his delivery.
Here's the 2-1. There's a deep drive to center field. This should be enough. And just like that, we're knotted at 5. After 3 runs in the 7th, 1 here in the 8th. It's a 5-5 ball game.
Again, the Bombers climb back from a 3-run deficit. They were actually down 4 in this game, but 3 in the 7th, 1 here in the 8th. And Ithaca proving why they are such a historically strong baseball program.
They faced adversity against Otterbein as they were the home team. Otterbein scored, I believe it was the 11th when they tallied a run. If I remember correctly, all runs were scored within the first 2 or 3 innings of that game, and then both teams held scoreless. Otterbein got on the board, and what most could assume, there it is, there's the run that's going to win it. Ithaca came back, tallied a run, held them, and scored another in the 12th to survive and advance. Designated hitter Garrett Callahan, 2 for 3. Couple doubles to his name, tallied a run. Fights off the 1 and 2 to stay alive. The 1-2 bounced in there. Counts even, 2 and 2, 2 outs. In a 5-5 game, top of the 8th. This one rolled to first. Looking all the way in is Newsman. He'll take it himself. But the damage is done. 5-5 as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Shenandoah looking to take the lead back. We'll be back here on ACTV. Robert Marcel will step in. Cosentino will continue. 3 2/3 thus far. There's a pop-up. It'll stay in the infield. Cosentino initially called for it. Well, he's called off. By Thompson's going to step in. It was called off by Fuadi. Who pinch hit at the top of the 8th. He's going to stay in and play at third. Thompson sends a lazy fly ball to the shortstop, which is now Webb Little. There's been some rotating around in the infield here. Looks like that's Generali over at second. So Webb Little's at short. Generali is in now shallow right field. This one won't find the turf in left field. Run around with 2 outs. They're designated, for first baseman, Luke Newsman.
I think I've got the changes here now as we mix it up a little bit there. Webb Little now at first base, Generali at second. I think we still have to confirm who is at shortstop.
That's still Lynch.
And then Fuodi over at third base now, So
excuse the miscall there. So we got a little shuffling going on.
So I had to change him coming in at third in the 7th. But I did change him at bat. Still has the other guy.
2 outs. Newsman at the plate, runner on first. Here's his first look. Breaking ball. Bends in there for a strike. There's still action in the Bomber bullpen. Nothing for Shenandoah. 5-5 ball game. 23 hits total. Only 1 error. Pretty good baseball played here this afternoon.
And even that error that was charged was a tough error to give.
Well, if you recall, he made the diving play at the line and he bobbled it afterwards, so still a great defensive effort there.
See if Cosentino can get out of this inning, send it to the top of the 9th.
You've seen a complete momentum shift in this game. Shenandoah had a commanding lead early. Couldn't quite hold off the late rally from Ithaca. We sit 5-5. 0-2 to Newsman. 2 outs. A runner on first. Left-handed Cosentino will send it over to first. Not in time to get the sliding Tristan Baker, who has swiped a base already in this one. That one goes over into foul territory and will make its way out of play. No harm done. So we'll stay at 0-2. Another move. Really want to keep Baker where he's at. Yet another look. That would be the go-ahead run if he somehow finds his way around the bases.
And the hitter at the plate, Newsman, a home run away from the cycle. Double, triple, single, flied out his last at bat.
Bends out of the way. That one that misses high. And not only would a home run for the cycle be very impressive, but that would only be the second one in 9 games here at Nicolay Field. We've had a couple go off the extended walls in the corner. Kept a few of them in play. That one goes off towards 223. Wind blowing out. Best way to describe it, I would say, was from first base to center field on that kind of an angle.
Some clouds starting to roll in again here, so hopefully it's not anything with rain.
This one, a slow bouncer to first. Took a big hop, apparently in fair territory. And Cosentino works through yet another inning, keeping the Hornets off the board. He's only given up 1 run, and his time on the mound will go to the top of the 9th, 5-5 game. You're not going to want to go anywhere. We have an interesting finish here on ACTV. So here we are, top of the 9th. Sudden death here on out. And we will start off with Matt Carey, the center fielder. Reached on an error in his last at bat. Came around to score in that big 7th inning. Here's the 1-1. Runs inside. Just about caught him on the lead arm. He's able to avoid it. We're at the count 2-1. That one catches the bottom of the zone, 2-2.
Some grumblings from the Ithaca side of the field as Carey steps out. Not sure he's too pleased with that call. Just caught the bottom of the zone.
Here's the 2-2. Checks to swing. First base umpire says he's good. That was a huge pitch. That's the difference in a 2-2 count and a 3-1 count. Huge difference. But the umpire is, in fact, always right. That's the one beauty of being an umpire, is no matter what you say goes, right, wrong, or indifferent. So we have a runner on first after the leadoff walk. Jack Lynch, the shortstop.
3rd inning in a row where the Bombers have put their leadoff man aboard. They have scored 4 of their 5 runs in the previous 2 innings. So they'll look to capitalize here. Tied game. They can push one across here. They will go into the bottom of the 9th, looking to extend their season.
Nobody out, runner on first. Pitcher steps off. snap throw behind the runner. Not in time. Counts 1-0. So it's looking like they're going to try to sacrifice bunt their way into scoring position. Very common strategy used. Third baseman Christian Rice is creeping up. Swinging away on the pitch. That's a strike. However, it does protect the runner. Keep Smallwood back a little bit.
Carey with the big steal of second there. Now a runner on second with nobody out.
Each team has swiped a bag apiece here in this one. So nobody out, 1-1. Now have a runner in scoring position. Corners are in. Halfway for the middle infield. Marcel holding on the runner at second. Bogdanovich gives the look, delivers a strike. That'll push it to 1-2. To Jack Lynch. He's 1-3. A little unfortunate with the double play. Called out on the interference. That was back in the 5th inning. And then since the Bombers have found themselves, they rallied back. Score 4 runs unanswered to tie it back up at 5. There's a bouncer. Catcher's coming out to make the play, and Smallwood's not going to have a shot, so he's going to hang on to it. The runner's on the corner. Nobody out.
Little swinging bunt there by Lynch. And Ithaca continues to grind out at bats and put pressure on this Hornets defense. Bogdanovich now a huge jam to pitch out of. 9th inning, runner on third base and no outs, and we'll see what Coach Valicente wants the catcher Woolner to do. Woolner a hit and 3 at-bats today. He had a 2-run single back in the 7th. Doing an excellent job behind the plate today. We have not seen a squeeze play yet, so Darian, you think we might see one here, or do you think they're going to let the Bomber backstop swing away?
Well, I think this is a good chance for it. You have a runner on first, so if it's a failed squeeze attempt, you still have a runner that would move up into scoring position. I'd say why not? Woolner, a 2 RBI single in his last at bat. He does have that going for him. That'll help persuade the decision to let him swing away. Fakes the throw down to second with the first and third. It's now runner on second and third. Andrew Woolner. Now is a really good time for a squeeze.
And this is where the strategy comes into play. No forces, but if you put Woolner on, that sends it back to the top of the lineup.
Swing and a miss. Caught him reaching. I'll push it to 2-1. Infield's in. So a blooper has more of a chance to fall behind the infield. 2-1, big lead off of second with the infield drawn in. That'll also help with anything put in the outfield. Here's the windup in the pitch. Off speed, breaks its way back in just like that. Boganowski's, don't know where that came from.
Bogdanovich, I think you mean.
That's a little better. I don't know where Nowski came from there, but he's battled his way back to 2-2, whatever his last name is. There's a line shot, makes the play, and he spikes it in left field. That was going to be a close one. The ball got out there fairly quick, had the momentum coming in. And with that, Ithaca's rallied back to take a 6-5 lead. That runner will stay on second.
A tough break for the Hornets. Good. A nice play running in, getting that. All his momentum coming to the plate. and he just spikes it into the turf. Didn't get the handle that he wanted. And Ithaca in the 9th inning has their first lead of this ball game.
12 hits apiece now, and if you're Nick Good, that's exactly what you want. All your momentum coming in almost on a full sprint. Medium depth, I would say that I would send the runner from third from that depth. He's going to have to make a perfect throw.
Because he spiked the ball, Lynch was able to move up to second. So they have an opportunity to push this lead to 2.
Here's the 0-2, 1 out. They now have an arm warming up in the Hornet bullpen. As that one misses outside, 1-2. Couldn't get him to reach. It's Dominic Baresta, the top of the lineup. Here for the Bombers, they got 1 out. Runner on second. Breaking ball misses his own, 2-2. Good plate discipline there from Baresta. There's a swing and a miss. 2 down. Webb Little steps in. 0 for 3 on the day. Now would be a good time to get in the hit column.
Some action warming up in the Hornets bullpen, but with 2 outs now, looks like they might let Buganovic finish it out, but they're going to put Little on, who's had a hot bat, send it to Generali. But he's 2 for 4 on the day. He doubled his last time up. That started off the 8th inning and later came around to score the tying run.
If I were the coaching staff for Shenandoah, I would almost... What do you got? We got a runner on second here. I'd almost walked Sam as well. You got 2 free bases.
It looks like Coach Anderson is going to go to the mound. I don't see anybody leaving the bullpen, so it looks like he's going to stay with his closer, try to get that last out of the inning.
So while we have a moment, we'd like to thank you all for tuning into this broadcast. Not only today, but through the entire tournament.
They're 9 games in so far, with 14, possibly 15 games scheduled, so over the halfway point now, but still at least a day and a half left of good baseball.
So I actually had too many bases available. You cannot walk Sam Little as well if they did elect to load the bases, which it looks like they're going to pitch to Generali, who's also on fire. He scored 2 runs, 2 for 4. A single and a double. First pitch misses for a ball. Here's the 1-1. He misses the zone. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. The Bombers took the lead here in the 9th for the first time today with a sacked fly. from Andrew Woolner. And are threatening again, 3-1 count. Generali where to reach. Sam Little has been on fire all tournament, and that's what we're going to get. He steps to the plate. And we have another mound visit, so we're going to get a pitching change here for the Hornets.
A tough break there. Bringing in their closer, Buganowitz. And coming in, surrendering 3 runs in his outing. Definitely not what Coach Anderson wanted to see, especially in this elimination game. So he will depart. Still only a 1-run ball game. Bombers 2 outs, have a chance to extend it, but if this new pitcher can come in and get the job done, then they will go to the bottom of the 9th.
So we'll let him warm up, and we'll be back. Top of the 9th, 2 outs, bases juiced for the Bombers. We'll see what plays out when we come back. And our new pitcher is Derek Snyder. Cody, what do we got on Snyder?
Well, Snyder on the year has 11 innings under his belt, 16 total appearances. He's got 8 strikeouts, 5 walks, and a 3.27 ERA. A tall task here for Snyder as Ithaca, bases loaded, 2 outs. They lead by 1 run and looking to add on. A strike there on the inner part of the plate. Sam Little has 2 hits on the day and 4 at-bats. He's got 9 in this regional. And he takes a ball outside there. 3-1 now on Sam Little. Shenandoah opting for the lefty, going with the matchup here. Snyder the 3-1 inside, and he's going to walk in the 7th run of the ball game, and Ithaca takes a 7-5 lead now.
So Snyder comes in and walks in a run. So here comes Fuadi, who came in the pinch hit back in the 8th. Got a sacrifice fly to his name already. He comes now, bases loaded. He fouls off this one, and that'll push the count to 1-2. If I'm the Hornets and Snyder comes in and only gives up 1 run out of this jam, I would be very happy with this performance. Coming in with the bases loaded, and he'll do just that. Giving up 1 run. That could have been a lot worse than what it was. So we will go to the bottom of the 9th, the first time the Hornets have trailed. Looks like we got 3, 4, 5 up for the Hornets. They'll need to tally 2 to stay alive here on ACTV. And here we are. Keegan Wolford is up. Looks like I missed the last out on the score sheet again. So I'll have 4, 5, 6 up for the Hornets. Tom Cosentino will come in looking to finish off the game. He's currently pitched 4 2/3 innings. Only surrendered a run. He's in line for the win if he can hold the Hornets off. Speaking of holding off, it's starting to get pretty dark here at Nicolay. So hopefully we can keep it dry for the conclusion of this game. That one misses high.
Well, if you're just joining us and expecting to see Wabash and LaRoche, that game will start approximately 30 minutes at the conclusion of this contest. Close pitch there. The loser of this game will have their 2018 season come to an end. So unless Shenandoah can put 2 on the board, they will be packing their bags. Meanwhile, Ithaca will play the winner of the next game. And again, that game starts 30 minutes after conclusion of this one.
Ithaca has faced adversity already, and it seems like their friend the rain is back as Chase Smallwood steps in. They advanced from their first elimination game in the rain. And here's a gapper. Off the bat is Smallwood. That'll bring the tying run to the plate. And that is Nick Good. So we have another heavy rainfall.
I feel like they might have to delay the start, or this game a little bit. A couple small cells moving in. The last one came quickly, but we've seen pitchers slip on that mound when it is wet, and for safety reasons, it looks like they're going to throw the tarp back on again. Second delay of this contest.
Oh, Cody, you're absolutely right. As we mentioned, they were small cells, but they were strong cells. You want more adversity. Now we have a rain delay, bottom of the 9th. Runner on first. Shenandoah needs to plate him and the runner at the plate to move on. We'll keep you updated as far as the weather goes. We'll be back as soon as the action continues here on ACTV. And we're back after an hour delay due to rain, inclement weather, including lightning. We're back, so it's 7-5 in favor of Ithaca, who finally took the lead for the first time in the 9th inning. They scored 3 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th to rally back from a 5-1 spot before finally scoring 2 in the 9th. But Shenandoah is threatening. They scored 3 in the 3rd in a big inning, followed by another in the 4th, 1 in the 6th. And out of the pen, Tom Cosentino has came to the mound and been very dominant. He's looking for the win here. 2 outs away, we have a runner on first. And that runner is going to be a pinch runner now, which is Michael Cruz running for Smallwood, who reached on a single before the downpour. So now Nick Good will step in. And we're back to baseball. 1 down, bottom of the 9th. Loser goes home. Winner moves on. And a little rain to add to the tension of the high pressure situation.
Yeah, still a few cells in the area, but hopefully they hold off. Cosentino, 58 pitches coming into this at-bat. The hour-long lightning delay, so good to see him, if you're an Ithaca fan, coming out and throwing 2 straight strikes.
And a check swing, he didn't go. I thought he was about to ring him up, but instead asked for help.
Cosentino, 1 strikeout in his 5 innings of work thus far, has only given up 1 run. He looks to pull within 1.
There's a shot down the line. That one's going to drop. Runners on first and second for Shenandoah. If you recall, back almost 4 hours ago, Robbie Buffett started off this game for Ithaca. Went 3 1/3 before giving way to Cosentino, who's been pitching quite the game out of the pen.
Yeah, really stellar performance if you think about it. Yesterday, the same thing, as Ithaca actually pulled their starter Emmett Dunn after only 1 2/3 innings pitched. They went to Tyler Hill and Jake Morello. They went a combined 10 1/3 innings, only giving up 1 run since then. So the bullpen for the Bombers doing what they need to do to survive this elimination bracket.
And we do remind you, waiting after this game are the Little Giants of Wabash and LaRoche. Foul goes, the ball goes foul off the glove. We'll have another life here. That was off of Little before it found the ground. So the Red Hawks and Little Giants will start approximately 30 minutes after the conclusion of this game. If you're tuning in for that, we encourage all to stick around and watch, as we've had fantastic baseball throughout the week in this tournament.
Well, no guarantee that this game is going to end anytime soon, as the Hornets, a very strong offensive team, and in a position to pull within 1, maybe even a gap shot away from tying things up.
There's a strike, so 1-2 the count, 1 out. We keep bringing up the turf, and now that it's wet, you'll see balls skipping with a little more heat on them. So a gapper could find its way to a wall rather than being cut off after a couple bounces from when we started this game around noon. This one, tailor-made double play. Can they get it? There's the turn. And the throw is in time on the relay. And after an hour-long delay, Ithaca battles back once again.
Just a lot of resiliency shown by these Bombers after one game being sent to the losers bracket. And so far 2-0 in elimination games, knocking off a very strong offensive team in Shenandoah. Just unable to get it done. Went to their closer That was 7 save all conference pitcher. I can find my lineup here real quick. Long rain delay.
It did kind of throw off the swing of things.
But Buganovitz just couldn't get the job done. He came in 2 1/3 innings pitched, gave up 4 runs, 3 earned, walked 3, so not his best performance. So unfortunately, Shenandoah's season comes to an end. But congratulations to the Hornets on a strong season, and good luck in their 2019 campaign. Like we were talking about earlier, Darian, still a relatively young team, not a lot of seniors, so we should expect to see them back in the NCAA tournament next year.
That, and you did mention during the broadcast, Shenandoah has been to 9 of the last 10 regionals, so I'm sure they'll be back next year. But with that, Shenandoah,
That's
twice now, jeez. Shenandoah is the 3rd team eliminated from this 8-team regional tournament. Ithaca survives for the 2nd time in the elimination bracket. They got 4 more to go if they're going to advance past regionals. So we have a half-hour break before the Red Hawks and Little Giants will take the field in Game 10. We encourage you to tune into that. For Cody Alexander and Sean Witcher, I'm Darian Pitcher saying thank you for watching, and we will see you next time here on ACTV.